Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on this video. Today is just going to be a short install on a UHF radio into my new GWM Cannon Vanta. I used this UHF radio on my old truck, which was my Volkswagen Amarok. So I've just robbed that off of there before I sell it, and it's been worked perfectly well. It's been a perfectly good unit. Yeah, and I'm going to install it on the Cannon. So I'll bring you out to the front drive. It's going to be a bit noisy because of the road noise again, but hopefully I'm using this new microphone system, so it won't be as bad. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing how this install goes and you know how I'm going to install the unit. It might give you a bit of a hand if you're going to try and install one yourself. Yeah, follow along and hopefully enjoy the video. See you in a bit. Okay, so just for reference, this is the unit I'm installing. As I said, it's an Oricom. I like this one because it's got the channels and all the buttons on the actual the speaker. It does come with a Z fixing point which goes onto the inside of the wing, inside the bonnet area, and then this unit fits somewhere in underneath the driver's compartment. And then it also comes with a UHF aerial. This is a 5-watt system. Not the greatest, but I mean it's about $250, I think, because the aerial comes with it. That's probably a good deal. Eventually what I'll do is I'll get a bull bar and I'll mount a bigger antenna on the bull bar. But for now, this is the unit we're installing. Okay, we're out of the car now. So basically what I'm looking to do, what I will say is it's very difficult with these Cannons to find anywhere suitable to mount the handset. This is the bracket it comes with. On my Amarok I just silicone this to the dashboard, and it worked really well. It was a silicone used for putting mirrors on walls, so it held in the heat and everything. It was fantastic. So yeah, I'm really struggling. I've got my electric brakes there. I did originally think about putting it just above, but it's fairly low and I think I might catch my knee on that as I get in and out of the car. So it really needs to be a bit higher. I did think maybe just next to the wing mirror controllers and the lights there. But then I've got a little area here on the, like this carbon fibre area on the dash next to the speaker, between the steering wheel and the, not next to the speaker, next to the hot air vent. I'm thinking if I take this off, I'm thinking I can probably silicone it on there. And that's fairly suitable. Yeah, I think this is probably going to be the best place to position the handpiece. And then what I'll do, as I say, I'll clip it in here somehow, so it'll only have a shallow loop on it. And it drops in behind the steering column, and I'll pick that up just underneath here above the pedals. And then the unit, if I can find it, oh, it's all in there. So yeah, the unit is mounted there on the brackets. I have the speaker facing out so I can hear. And then what I'll do, I don't know if I can show you up here, I found a grommet. It was really difficult to find a grommet to get this cable through, but you can see this cable here just runs through this big grommet here. There's a lot of cabling coming through, and I'll take you and show you from the engine side. So what I did is I put a screwdriver on that grommet and I just pushed it back through to the engine bay. I'll bring you back out and show you. So that comes through just down there, so I don't know if you can see that. You can see a big grommet there, so that literally pulled out this way. I put a little slit in it, pushed the cable through, and I pushed the grommet back in. And then what I'll do is I'll run the cabling along the back of the engine bay there, and I'll bring it around and join it. You can see I've actually run a little bit of it here. I've put an inline fuse. I will have an inline fuse in there, and then that joins onto the positive terminal. And then the neutral I have run along the back here, so it comes around the battery, and there's actually a neutral bolt just down there that I can screw onto. So that'll be the black lead, and then it will run all nice and neatly in that conduit, and then back down into that little well and through that grommet and connect to the radio. So I'll get all that clipped up, connected, and I'll bring you back. Okay, I've got it in. It wasn't without its trials and tribulations, I have to say. These cars, although they're fantastic, there's not a lot of room to do much around them, and you know, I'm no mechanic, as you know, but I've managed to get it in, I've managed to get it working. So what I'll do is I'll give you a quick show of what I've done. It's not perfect, but it's only temporary, because I'm hoping to get a bull bar on this soon, and I'll move the aerial to the bull bar. Let's have a look. So, aerial's on. Hit the top of the kayak, or the bottom of the kayak there. Look, I had to fabricate this to suit. There's this plastic shield here on the cannons and this seal. So I've had to put another bend in this. It was 10mm down. No, sorry, 15mm. That's given me enough height underneath here to run the cable for the aerial. And then what I've done is I've elongated a 10mm hole there to bring the cable through, and for now I've just run it underneath the seal, and I've brought it down into the engine compartment, and I've taken it along. I've tied it, cable tied it onto whatever this is here, and you can see I've run it off then, and it's joined the cables or the wires from the battery, and it runs along underneath next to the firewall into that corner where I'll go through the firewall with the grommet. I'll show you that now. So you can see just down there, I've tied these cables, I've just tied them together. There's the grommet. So the aerial and the positive and the negative go through there. And then down in the footwell, which was an absolute nightmare in the end. I'll try and get up there to show you. Yeah, so I've brought the cables and the aerial through the grommet there, brought them into the back of the unit, speakers facing outwards, and then I've run the cable for the handset just there. I've brought it underneath, and then I've run it up next to the steering column here. And then what I'll do is I'll put a little, got a Bunnings and buy a little clip, and I'll put a clip on there. Yeah, and that will just hang down. So I've still got access to everything here on this panel. And all I've done for now is I've just M3 taped the holder, the mic holder on there, and it's not really brilliant. I need to go and get some of that silicone for putting mirrors up. That works fantastic with these if you don't want to be drilling into your new car. So there, it's all in, it's linked to the battery, so even if the car doesn't start, I can turn her on. There we go, channel 11, whatever channel you want. Really good and really easy to use handset. So yeah, that's it. That's the install. As I say, it wasn't the easiest of things to do. I'm a big fella, and getting underneath that footwell, you know, it's just a nightmare. But she's in and she works for now. So if you're thinking about installing one of these UHF radios into a Cannon, this is the easiest way that I've found. If you want to ask me any questions, hit me up, and I can try and answer them for you. Okay, what I've done, guys, is originally I had the cable for the handset just clamped here, and you can see some of these little black clips from Bunnings. So originally I had it clamped there, and it looped down and it hung in the handset holder there. What I found was, though, when I took the handset from there to talk, it was rubbing on the steering wheel, because obviously coming from here across the steering wheel to me, it just wasn't going to work. So you can see what I've done now. I've extended this cable. I've put 3 clips here, and I've actually clipped it on the end here. This is just a rubber fascia on the dash there. Left the handset in the same place, as you can see, but the difference is now when I lift this off and I bring it across, you can see it's not touching the steering wheel or interfering with the steering wheel. So just something to bear in mind if you're going to mount this handset in this location. And that's it, it's all in. I tested it out, my son got the walkie-talkie out and we were talking to each other on it, so it works well. It doesn't look too untidy with this cable running here. I can still access all these components here. Yeah, so like I said earlier, if you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer them. It was a fairly easy install, albeit there's not a lot of room to run everything you know, through the firewall and underneath the footwell. So yeah, any questions, just hit me up and I'm happy to answer them. Cheers.